I don't know. I guess part of that is your character and being brought up that it is your responsibility to speak up. When I was approximately 16 years old when we started, 17 when the walkout started, but we started way before. I think we started noticing the discrimination that was here in our campus that us students had to go through, and we would talk about that. You know, how much discrimination, how the teachers would treat us. They would say that we weren't going to amount to anything. I remember being in the counselor's office. It was always, you're going to the Army, sign up. You know, the Army, the Marines, or whatever. It was never. They never told us either that we had availability of grants or scholarships to go to college. That there were government grants that we could apply for. For me, that I learned that there are things that you can do to break the school rules, but yet those school rules were not right, and were not proper, or were not, or they were violating our rights as students. So we started saying, hey, what else do they have written down that they're violating our rights? Like the books that they had where they didn't represent the Mexicanos, that were very negative. We all started talking about the discrimination that was here in Crystal City, and they talked about the discrimination that they went through in California, different from ours, similar and different in different ways. And then they started talking, well, Los Angeles had a walkout, and they call them the blowouts, right? They did a blowout, and this is what they did. And said, oh, that would be awesome. We could do that too. And we started talking about what we were going to come back and do when we got back. And so that was a start there in California, talking about what was going to be done. The night, December the 8th, when our parents were in the school board meeting. It was a small room, probably a section from about here to where you all are at, like this. It was a very small room. We had requested that they have it in the cafeteria so that our parents, because a lot of our parents were going to come, and they said, no, this is where we have our meetings, and this is where we're going to have it. So I remember telling him, okay, they're not going to fit. But they were used to that it would always be us students that would go. We'd go to the board meetings, we'd go, and it'd be the three of us and other students. And it was, our parents never really went. So I don't think they expected. So that night, or 2 days before that meeting, we went around having meetings and telling the parents, we're going to have a big meeting, this is the last time, and we need you to be there. And they don't listen to us. Every time we go, they say, you're too young, we don't want to listen to you, bring your parents. And you're not adults, we want your parents. So finally, we got the parents to go in. I said, well, you need to go with us because they don't listen to us. So we were there, and I can just picture it. Here's a long table where the board members are sitting down, and all of the mujeres, the women and the children, started coming in, and we were telling them to come in, and they were all sitting, so they sat on the chairs that were there. They were standing up. So then we saved the men for the last, and we said, okay, now the men. Well, there was standing room only, so the men had to come all around, and all the men were behind the board members were all around here. So it was like overwhelming. You could feel you could even hear the heartbeat of everything that was going on. And I made the presentation. Then I spoke, Mario spoke, Diana spoke. We all had our parts that we were speaking about what we wanted to do and make the presentation. And the president, Mr. Myers, I think it was Jay Myers, said, this is too many in here, it's too crowded. I said, we told you, sir. And he just looked and says, well, the meeting is adjourned. We're not going to meet. And I kept saying, no, wait, sir. And he says, the meeting's adjourned. And they were calling, I think they were calling the cops, because I remember him leaning over to one of the other ones, the secretary, telling her to make a call. And I leaned over and told Diana something like, I think they're calling the cops on us or something. And anyway, they were all there. So he got up and adjourned. So right then and there, I got up and I told the parents, look, this is what they do to us in school. They don't listen to us. Look at what they're doing to you. You're the parents. You're our parents. They don't care. They don't respect you. They don't respect you at all. They keep telling us, come back with your parents. And now we have all of you here. And they don't listen in Espanol y en Inglés. I said, okay, now, parents, we've been fighting this. This is the second year that we're going around with the same thing. We've been going to board meeting after board meeting, meeting with the principal, the vice principal. And what are we going to do? Are we going to go back to school and allow this to continue? Or we're going to walk out and show them, and we had already explained to them that if we left school and walked out, that was money that was coming into the district, and they were going to lose money. Are we going to show them that our presence is important, money for them? And so the parents, and I was talking to them, miren lo que nos hacen, and all this stuff, telling the parents, should we walk out? And somebody, I think it was Diana, said, walk out, and Mario, and so everybody started, walk out. On the steps of the high school, on outside, that's where we grouped. And as we're going in, we kept, the ones that had not been at the meeting, we told them, remember, we're doing a walkout. They didn't listen to us yesterday at the meeting. This and this happened, and we're not going to go to school. We're going to be out here. And our parents, and our tias and community members were across the street. All the time that we were there, we were outside. Just not in the school. Not in the school. There's a video there that shows me talking to him, and he wanted, well, you need a parade permit. You can't be walking the way you are around like this. And I said, well, we have one. And he said, well, let me see it. And I had it with me. So I opened my little purse, and I got it, and I went like this. See this? But he was in the car, and I was outside, and I said, see this? And he says, let me see it. And he went like that to get it. I said, no. And I pulled back. You're going to tear it. And I just pulled back like that. I said, but I've got another one for you. We made a copy. Tienes que defender, o tienes que hablar, mija, no te puedes quedar callada. Si miras tú una injusticia, no te puedes quedar callada.